If you want to blow up your bankroll and make consistent cash this summer betting on baseball, you need to make sure you're implementing the 3 tips that I share with you in this video. You see, I found the key to attack this one particular market that will explode your account balance, but only the sharps and the pros understand this strategy. Like John Hyslop from OddsJam taking this $10 profit boost from FanDuel and cashing this ticket in for over $9,300. There is a secret formula that will put more money in your pocket, and it's so powerful that most sharps will only share it with their close friends. I've heard those conversations and been in those Discord chats, so it's no surprise that very few know and take advantage of the strategy. I'm going to tell you the exact market, sportsbook, and what you should look out for so that you can make easy cash betting on baseball all throughout this spring and summer. Because I will warn you, if you skip just one of these tips, it's going to be the reason why you're not seeing this strategy succeed. But first, I need you to smash that subscribe button if you want to beat the sportsbooks. I'm on a mission to empower the beginning sports bettors, sharing with you for free the precise tips and strategies that have grown my bankroll from $5,000 to $40,000. I upload videos every week teaching you how you can become a profitable sports bettor, and you're not going to want to miss a video. The first tip, when you're looking to find an edge this summer betting on baseball, there are some recreational sportsbooks that are sharp in certain particular markets. And when I say recreational sportsbooks, I mean DraftKings, Caesars, FanDuel, BetMGM. I believe that over 95% of the time these books are not very sharp, but I'm using a software like OddsJam to find me certain plays. So there are certain markets that I'm always consistently betting and taking advantage of those markets, making money off of those books. When you're betting on baseball, don't be afraid to try some different markets out, because you might be surprised to find out that some of these recreational books are sharp, and that's not a bad thing. You can use that to your advantage. Now for tip number 2, talking to various different sharps and looking through my historical data, I was getting smoked the last 2 baseball seasons betting on pitcher strikeouts. And what I've come to learn is FanDuel is very sharp on the main line pitcher strikeouts. Now, looking at this Reds-Brewers game, there are 2 sportsbooks that I constantly lean on when betting on player props to see if there's any value or a sharp play out there, and that's Pinnacle and BetOnline. Now, normally I would disregard FanDuel's lines, but now that I know that FanDuel is very sharp, as they have Frankie Montas right here, over 5.5 strikeouts, -118, the under at -108, I'll use FanDuel, BetOnline, and Pinnacle here now as my guides. So I am not looking to bet FanDuel here. I'm using FanDuel as my reference. So right here, I bet on Caesars +102 Montas over 5.5 Ks. Now in the same game as a bit of a guide for you, I would not touch Joe Ross on his strikeouts prop. FanDuel and BetOnline have odds for his over under 4.5, and then they also have odds for his over 5.5. You can see down here that Pinnacle has his main line at over 5.5, under 5.5. It's a little just too all over the map for me, and this is something that I would not touch. Now for me, guys, looking at Chris Bassett over under 5.5 strikeouts, Blue Jays versus Mariners, you can see FanDuel has it at -122 on the over, BetOnline -114, Pinnacle -116. I like the even money here at Bovada. You can make a case maybe to bet the under, but because FanDuel has this at -104, and I consider them between FanDuel, BetOnline, and Pinnacle, FanDuel is the sharpest out of the 3 in my opinion, I would not bet this under. Or you could simply just arbitrage this here and make risk-free cash between Bet365 and Bovada. So for my final example, Mets versus Braves, guys, you can see Ronaldo Lopez here, over 4.5 strikeouts. You're probably going to see the OddsJam Plus EV tool recommend you to bet the under 4.5 at +112. But I believe FanDuel is very sharp. So I'm going to use their over 4.5 at -142, look at Pinnacle's over at -126, and say I can get an awesome opportunity right here, Fanatics, to bet this over at -110. Guys, I want to hear from you. Leave a comment down below. Have you found other sports books to be very sharp in particular markets? I want to create a community, guys, of sharp sports bettors where our one mission is to destroy the sports books, where we band together and we make as much money as we possibly can. So any information or insight that you can provide can definitely be helpful to me and others alike. Also, guys, I've recently opened up channel memberships. If you want to support the channel, there are 2 awesome levels that will give you a ton of cool perks, from emojis to member live chats to polls just for members and early access to my content. Check it out, it's going to be linked below. Okay, so we know that FanDuel is really sharp on mainline pitcher strikeouts. Well, tip number 3 is absolutely going to blow your mind. That same book, FanDuel, that is so sharp on mainline plays is so exploitable on their alternate lines. I'm not sure who is running their alternate lines, but their odds are just insanely off compared to the rest of the market. Let me show you. Now we're back to the Mariners Blue Jays games. And guys, also, if you're interested in trying OddsJam, linked in the description is going to be a 1-week free trial. After the trial ends, use my code Billy35. It's going to save you 35% off your first month. It helps support the channel, and it also makes sure for that first month that you don't pay full price. So when looking to take advantage of FanDuel and this alternate line pitcher strikeouts, Pinnacle doesn't set alternate lines, so we have to solely reference BetOnline as our sharp book. Take a look here at George Kirby. When we click the show alternate lines and then we scroll down, look at his over 6.5 and particularly over 7.5. BetOnline has his over 6.5 at plus 225. We can get this at plus 390 at FanDuel. The crazier one, BetOnline has his over 7.5 at plus 393. We can get this at plus 830 at FanDuel. Now, when we're looking at these types of line, guys, I'm not unloading the bankroll and throwing everything on these plays. But a little sprinkle here or there, or maybe that $5 or $10 promo that FanDuel loves to put together for maybe same game parlays. This is where you can find massive EV on a long shot. And because we're so early in the baseball season, this is a great time to attack because the books are kind of all over the place. And so when you can get a payout this large, man, I love to just sprinkle a little bit on this. And that's how you can turn a little $5 or $10 ticket into hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. So guys, this is what I like to do is I'll just come up here to the left, click on pitcher strikeouts, and then I'll just peruse each game individually. So right here, let's check out this Nationals-Giants game. And when we scroll down here, we'll expand on Kyle Harrison right here. We'll click show alternate lines. So BetOnline doesn't have anything for this, but you can kind of just get a sense like looking at the over 6.5 strikeouts here, plus 280 at Bet365, plus 230 at ESPN Bet. We can get this at plus 340 at FanDuel. So that's a really nice gap where you don't necessarily need to lean on a sharp sports book here. FanDuel's just way higher than the rest of the market. So last example here, we're looking at the Rangers-A's game, Nathan Eovaldi, right? We'll just scroll down here, expand everything, and then like right here, I mean, over 9.5 strikeouts. BetOnline has this at plus 400. Bet365 has it at plus 450. You can get it at plus 520 at FanDuel. That's a really solid gap. Yes, we're not going to be putting a ton of money on this play, but man, a little sprinkle on something like this, oh, I absolutely love it. So you're always going to want to bet the over on pitcher alternate line strikeouts when employing this third tip. We're obviously not going to be dumping a ton of money onto this, but the little $5 or $10 profit boost bet that FanDuel constantly adds, or that same game parlay, this is a wonderful opportunity to take a small amount of money and put it on a long shot. And yes, I normally don't advocate for parlays, but this is a case where it's such a small amount of money and you're getting really awesome plus EV that I'm a huge fan of this. So the beauty here, guys, is if you want to be a little bit more conservative, then just follow tip number 2 and attack the main line plays. If you like to get really wild and loose with it and want a massive payout, then use tip number 3 to your advantage. Now you have the tips to absolutely dominate the pitcher strikeout props for this baseball season. And if you love to bet baseball, you need to check out this MLB betting strategy that has yielded me a 20% ROI over the last 2 seasons. Click this video right here to find out how I achieve these results as I break down how I execute this step by step so that you can implement this into your strategy and start earning right now.